What's up, everybody? Welcome to the last module or the last chapter for the course that you'll be learning material. So, congratulations, you made it this far. Hang in there. We're almost done. We got a couple more weeks left. And so we have one more test to complete next week. And then the last big assignment you have to complete is your personal fitness plan. And I'll explain that when the time comes. So just hang in there. We're almost done. Y'all doing great. Just remember to keep up with your assignments. Keep submitting them on time and following the instructions I have there. And just make sure you study well for the tests, and y'all will be just fine. But this video talks about your last chapter, stress management. We've talked about cardio, respiratory fitness. We talked about muscular strength and endurance, nutrition now, flexibility. So let's get into what some people might not focus a lot on, stress. And I wanted to include this chapter because it's important to your overall health when it comes to stress. And we all experience stress. It's inevitable. It's going to happen no matter what. But how can we manage it? What can we do to manage those stress levels when they come about? So, um, it's a shorter chapter. I will say that it's shorter compared to the other ones. It's probably the shortest chapter you will have to learn. But just because it's short, it doesn't mean it's not as important. So let's go over. I'll first go over the um, what you see here in the module, and then I'm gonna go over the assignments, um, and then I might be able to include the PowerPoint slides. So without further ado, let's get started. So as always, you have the chapter reading available. You got the PowerPoint slides here as well, and you got the study guide. So y'all have two assignments due for this module, this chapter. The first assignment, when you click on it, it'll say this is due this Sunday, the 12th. So in a Word document, create a top 7 list of things that stress you out. Okay, as a student. And it can be 7 things that stress you out as a whole. So it could be your job, it could be relationships, it could be your family, it could be financial. Anything that you're willing to share, of course, feel free to share it. Um, and not only that, 7 things that stress you out the most. You also place them in order from the most stressful at number 1 and work your way down. And then come up with 2 strategies that you can do to manage those stressors. And I have an example here. Let's say your number 1 stressor, excuse me, thing that stress you out is taking exams. What can you do to manage those stressors? You can't always you can't always change what happens with that stressor, but you can manage it by your own actions. So you can begin to study at least a week in advance to hopefully take that weight off your shoulders of taking exams. And maybe you can meet with a study group that y'all are in the same class and y'all can study together. And but yeah, I mean, just two things, 2 strategies that you can do to manage your stressors, and you'll do that for all 7 of them. What are 2 things that you can do, that you yourself, you personally can do that could help alleviate that stress? So yeah, that's due by this Sunday the 12th, and just have it in a Word document. That'll be fine. Your next assignments, it's a little I'm gonna have a video instruction on what to do, but essentially what you're going to do is you're going to the main thing is to find something online, an online resource, whether it's an app, a podcast, a music playlist from Spotify or Apple Music, or an app. I might say app already, but website, a YouTube video, anything online that might help alleviate stress in your life. Okay, so think about that before you watch this video. The video that I will have posted at the top of this assignment. So it's a form. So you're going to be responding to other students. So that's a hint there. So yeah, look into the assignment and you'll find a video I have posted here for more information on how to complete this assignment. All right, so that's all, and that's due by Tuesday the 14th, and then y'all have y'all's tests from Tuesday through Thursday. So Tuesday the 14th through the 16th to complete the Unit 3 test. All right, let's go back. I should be able to include the material in this video, the PowerPoint slides. So if you click on the PowerPoint slides, here's the Chapter 9 Stress Management PowerPoint slides. I'm actually just open it up here. So here you go. All right, so as you notice, there's only 23 slides, so it's not a whole lot. But again, it's still important for you to know about stress and how to manage stress. So what is stress? Stress usually carries a negative connotation, meaning that when someone says that they're stressed out, they usually mean that in a negative way, in the bad way. But is stress always bad? We will talk about that here in a second. So stress, make sure you know the definition of stress. Defines the body's physical, mental, and emotional response to a particular stimulus. That stimulus is known as a stressor. A stressor is a specific stimulus or situation that causes stress. Okay, so maybe you all have had a pop quiz in a class. I would imagine that would cause some stress. That would be considered a stressor. If I asked you all to complete 2 more assignments in one day, that I would imagine that would cause some stress. So anything that is a specific situation or stimulus that causes stress, that's a stressor. But stress can result in positive or negative outcomes. And positive, known as positive stress, you have eustress. Okay, like a wedding, for example. It's a joyous event, 2 people becoming one, but leading up to it and having the planning and everything, are these the right flowers? Are these the right colors? Is everybody invited that you want to invite? Is the music situated? Is the food situated? So that's why people hire wedding planners so they don't have to worry about it, to help alleviate that stress. But again, it's positive stress because it's a positive outcome. 2 people becoming married, graduating. Leading up to it, it can be stressful, taking all these classes, you got all these tests, all these projects, having to deal with teachers that you may not like. But the outcome is positive, eustress. Okay, so there are some examples of positive stress. and that's known as eustress. You got the negative stress. This is what people think about when they think about stress, negative stress. You just lost your job. You just lost your loved one. You lost a pet. Um, you got injured playing a sport. Okay, that causes negative stress, causes anxiety or concern. Okay, this is the type of stress that can lead to mental or physical problems. Okay, maybe you are going to a job that you don't like, but you have to pay your bills. You gotta have money coming in somehow. But you go to a job you don't like, and over time it causes stress and stress and stress, causes headaches, sweating, nauseating, symptoms, stomach problems. So yeah, that's distress. So eustress is positive stress. Distress is negative stress. Sources of stress. These are some sources of stress that are common in day-to-day life. Okay. You have this term, it's called the Yerkes-Dodson law, which it states that a stress response, if temporary, that's important, if temporary, it can be positive, resulting in enhanced focus, quicker reaction time, and increased energy and strength. So, for example, you you are studying for the the final test in a class, um, and then the next day you're about to take that test. Now, hopefully, that is a short response, and if temporary, it can result in you enhancing your focus. You're focusing on the test. You're not focused on anything else. Okay. Another example. If you're about to take the last second shot for a basketball game, okay, there's 5 seconds left. Your team is down by two. You want a good amount of stress, not too little, not too much, but just right amount of stress to hopefully cause quicker reaction time, enhance focus, increase energy and strength. So that's the Yerkes-Dodson law in a nutshell. Okay, make sure you all know that term and what happens. What is the Yerkes-Dodson law? What does it state? It states that if stress is temporary, it can actually be beneficial for you. Homeostasis. I'm sure you all have heard of homeostasis. Your body strives to maintain a stable and consistent physiological state called homeostasis. But when a stress response occurs, homeostasis is disrupted. So let's say you're in class, and then all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off. Everybody's heart rate will go up, your blood pressure will go up, and then essentially your fight response will occur for you to get out of the situation, get out of the building. So homeostasis would be disrupted. But that's for any stress response. The general adaptation syndrome. There's 3 stages to this syndrome, and it happens when any stress response occurs. You got the alarm stage, and you're again going back to that example of a fire alarm. The alarm stage goes off, and your body, especially your adrenal glands, release adrenaline and cortisol, stress response hormones that cause a fight or flight response. Which either you get out of that situation, you flight, or you fight that situation. You fight that stressor. Okay. So yeah, just make sure you all know these stages, and make sure you know where the adrenal